Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Gospel Recipe. If this is your first time here, my name is Daniela Agofere, and this is a podcast centered around the love of God, walking faithfully with Him, and birthing every single thing He has placed inside of you, every single prophecy that's been spoken over your life. Yeah, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome. And if you're a new subscriber, it's very nice to have you here. Please like, share, comment. Why am I swinging my legs? Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let's get straight into today's word. Today's topic is how to unlock the hearts of men. And I'm going to be using a biblical reference as always, from the story of Ruth. So yeah, I have about four points. Yeah, so it's gonna be short and sweet. So just to give you guys context, if you haven't read the book of Ruth in the Bible, Ruth's mother-in-law's name was Naomi. Naomi had two sons and a husband. So her two sons and her husband both passed away. Like the three of them passed away essentially. So Naomi was left with her two daughter-in-laws. The second one or the other one decided to go back to at her town, and Ruth decided to stay with Naomi, and they eventually went back to Naomi's hometown together. And yeah, there she met Boaz, a man called Boaz, and she remarried essentially. And I'm sure you all have heard the story of like, oh, I want my own Boaz. Like, yeah, people say, oh, I want my own Boaz, just like Ruth. But yeah, there's a key to unlocking the hearts of men and to receiving a man like Boaz. So yeah, let's get into it, okay? This is a topic that's quite dear to my heart, really, because I was also in a space like this before. So, and the Lord really helped me with it. So number one point, there are blessings that come with serving someone faithfully. So if you read through the story, the book of Ruth in the Bible, you will see that Ruth was a woman that served Naomi faithfully. Even after her husband passed away, she still served her mother-in-law faithfully, and she received the blessings that comes from such service that you give to people, right? You always hear people are always praying, oh, I want God to bless me, I want God to bless me. And today I'm really speaking to the women on this channel. Maybe you're a single mom, or you're just a young girl, or you've gone through some sort of trauma from past relationships, or your ex-husband, whatever the case might be, really. Yeah. So there are blessings that come with serving someone faithfully. God wants to bless each and every one of us, but manna doesn't just fall from heaven. It's not just going, you're not going to be sitting in your room and $10 million will just fall on your legs. Literally. There are systems, there's a system that God uses to bless people, and this comes from different channels like service, from hard work, and so on, really. But today I really want to focus on the book of Ruth. So you can see that Ruth served her mother-in-law faithfully, and at the end of the day, she did receive a blessing from God. Um, and she this blessing really came from a point of compassion, really, because her mother-in-law saw that you've been with me, my son is dead, I have nothing else to offer you, really, because the times then were different from now. Because women then, most of their accomplishments were really driven from marriage, from their position in marriage, really. It was such a thing of pride and joy to be married, really. So at that point in time, Naomi had nothing to offer her. Both of her sons were dead. Her husband was dead. So it's like, why are you serving me? Like, I have nothing to offer you. You cannot, if you're following me, you cannot marry. Really. So I'm even like trying to get you guys into like the times then. The times then were different. So this is Naomi serving this woman faithfully, knowing that she has nothing to offer her. She has no son to offer her for marriage, but she was still serving her. And Naomi looked upon her like, I have compassion on you. I cannot just let you go like this. You've literally followed me from the town where I lived back to my hometown after my husband died, after my two sons died, one which you were married to. Like I have to hook you up with someone. I have to do something for you, right? And this is actually very, very practical because it happens even in today's time. Have you ever served someone so faithfully, at the end of the day they were just like, oh, I just have to bless you. Maybe you get like a commission at the end of the year for if you work in an office, maybe you get like a commission at the end of the month or at the end of the year or during your birthday or something. There's a gratitude that comes with serving someone faithfully, of honoring someone in your life. So that is it for number one point. There are blessings that come with serving faithfully. And this really comes from a place of compassion that the person will just have for you. Don't serve wicked people though. Don't serve wicked people. I just have to add that part. Number two, there are systems that accompany the blessings of God. And this goes hand in hand with point number one. And one of them is service to others. So I'm going to be reading from Ruth 2, chapter 2, verses 10 to 12. And it reads, "At this point, she bowed down with her face to the ground. She asked him, 'Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?' Boaz replied, 'I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your homeland and came to live with a people you did not know before.'" So you can see that word about her spread. It's not just about being a kind person and all of that. There's a way you can carry yourself as a woman. There's a blessing that accompanies good character, essentially. Have you ever been in a space where people are just like, "Oh, I've heard about you. I've heard about the things you've done." That's have been someone of good character, being humble, carrying yourself, or being diligent in every single place that God has placed you, even if it's not where you used to be. Maybe you used to be better. Maybe you used to live a better life, but there's been a shaking in your life, and you find yourself doing things that you should not be doing. I'm talking work related. Maybe you're working a more demeaning job, whatever case it might be, but every single thing you do, even scripture says it, that every single work that you do it as if you're doing it unto God. So are you diligent in your workplace? Are you diligent in your place of service in church? If you were to leave your office today, do you think you'll be missed? If you were to leave the position you're serving in church today, do you think you'll be missed? Do you think people are going to say, "Oh, child, we really miss Anna. Like, she was such a blessing to this community. She was such a blessing to this office." You really think people would miss your presence? That is what it means for your name to go before you in every single thing you do. People just gravitate towards you because you do everything diligently, because you do everything with love, with humility, with kindness. And this was the character that Ruth embodied. You hear what Boaz said, that he has heard every single thing that she has done, how she left her homeland and followed her mother-in-law back to her own homeland. Boaz, he had heard everything that she had done even before he met her. So this is what it means for your name, for your character to go before you, right? It opens doors for you that you do not even know about. So yeah, there are systems that accompany the blessings of God, and one of them is service to others. Number three, do not be bitter. And this happens to a lot of women these days, where life has thrown so many things at you. There's been so much shaking, right? And you become so bitter, you become so unusually strong. You see a lot of women these days that embody so many masculine character, so many masculine traits, not of their own blame, of course. Life just has a way of making you more masculine than you should be. Maybe you're a single parent, now you now have to take on the role of a father and a mother, or maybe you've gone through a heartbreak for whatever reason it might be, and you just feel like you have to be unusually strong. Or maybe you're a first daughter and you just shoulder the weight of your siblings, or maybe your dad wasn't there when you were growing up and you just had to take on so many roles and so many things, right? And it's made you unusually strong. But that is not how it's meant to be. That is not how God intended for things to be. You're meant to rest in your feminine energy. You're meant to be soft. You're meant to be sweet. You're meant to be gentle. Those are the character traits of a woman. And this trait actually opens doors for you as a woman, right? Because you don't want to walk into a room and you're just being saucy, you're just being authoritative, unnecessarily authoritative, you're just being rude. Those character traits are not good for a woman, really. Nobody's saying I'm not trying to downplay or you being a boss and all of that. You should be that way, but there should always be a balance. That's what I'm trying to say. There should always be a balance in everything that you do, right? So I'm going to be reading from Ruth chapter 2 verses 13. And it says, "May I continue to find favor in your eyes, my lord," she said. "You have put me at ease by speaking kindly to your servant, though I do not have the standing of one of your servants." So, let me just read the next chapter. I really enjoyed reading the chapter, this book of Ruth, by the way. It was so, as I was reading, I was smiling. Anyways, so chapter 14 says verse 14 says, "At mealtime Boaz said to her, 'Come over here, have some bread and dip it in the wine vinegar.'" Can you just try to picture the kind of woman that Ruth was? For a man like Boaz to say, "Come and have some of my bread and dip it in vinegar." Can you just imagine how soft, how sweet she must have been for a man like Boaz to say, "Oh, come, I want to have you close to me," right? And this is just to say, like, do not let life's hardship, life's trials make you unnecessarily hard. Even when you don't need to be, you're seeing a man that wants to be there for you. Let's say you've been strong all your entire life and you finally meet a man that wants to be there for you, that wants to care for you. But no, I don't want peace. I don't want peace. There must be war. No, honey, leave that aside. Be soft. Rest in your feminine energy. Be a soft woman. Be sweet. Men thrive in being a provider, in being a protector. If they feel like they're constantly going toe to toe with you, then they're not going to feel like they're fulfilling their role as a man. Literally, the things that give them joy is by providing for you, by feeling like they're actually providing and being a protector in your life, right? And Ruth just knew how to embody this character so well. I'm also going to read from Ruth 3, verses 1 to 7. One day, Ruth's mother-in-law Naomi said to her, "My daughter, I must find a home for you, where you will be well provided for. Now Boaz, with those women you have worked for, is a relative of ours. Tonight he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, put on perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying down, then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do." "I will do whatever you say," Ruth answered. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. When Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. Ruth approached quietly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. So you can see what I said about there are blessings that come with serving someone faithfully. And Naomi literally said to her daughter-in-law that you have served me faithfully. I cannot let you go just like this. I have to find someone for you. I have to settle your matter, literally. And it's such a beautiful thing because, like I said in the beginning, Naomi had two daughter-in-laws. We never heard about the second one. We never heard about the second one. But Ruth, on the other hand, she has an entire chapter in the Bible because she was faithful, she served, right? And she's part of the lineage of David. She could have been so bitter. She could have been like, "Okay, I'm going back to my mother's land. I'm so angry. I'm so bitter. Life has been so terrible to me," right? And she could have missed out the blessing that God had for her. She did not allow life, trials, and tribulations turn her into something that she's not originally meant to be. People will take up your cross if only you will be vulnerable. And obviously, everything we do should do with sense, have sense. If only you will be vulnerable, but be vulnerable with the right people. Don't go be vulnerable with people that go be telling your business. Be going, that's not what we're saying here. But yeah, people will take up your cross if only you will be vulnerable. So I'm going to be reading from Ruth 3, verses 18. Then Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, until you find out what happens, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled." Can you see this? He said the man would not rest until the matter is settled. Naomi was standing on business. She was standing on business. She was like, "This your matter. It's I carry it on top of my head. Like, this your matter. Be that here." Naomi literally took up her cross. She took up the cross of Ruth. And yeah, really, sometimes people don't really have compassion for you unless they know what you're going through, unless they know what you've been through. But like I said, the right people, not just anybody. Some people don't understand why you have to show up so strong. Some people don't understand why you're the way you are. They just think, oh, you're badly behaved. But when they understand that, oh, okay, she's been through this, this has happened. This explains why she's this way. This explains why she approaches things from this manner, right? So vulnerability usually goes hand in hand with compassion, essentially. And for the last point, something great can come out of your pain and suffering. And I'm going to be reading from Ruth 4, verses 17. The women living there said, "Naomi has a son, and they have named him Obed. He was father of Jesse, the father of David." Naomi was also a woman that was in distress. She felt like she was downcast, like God had forsaken her because her husband died, her two sons died. She was literally left alone, essentially. If you read the chapter, the book of Ruth, you will hear in several ways where she kept on telling God that, "Why have you forsaken me?" She felt like God had forsaken her. She felt like life had just lifed her. Life had just, I don't know, I don't know the word to use. But yeah, but she did not become bitter, and I thank God that Ruth stayed by her side, because Ruth eventually gave birth to a son, right? And that son became like her own grandchild. And in those days, actually, the son that Ruth gave birth to, based on their custom, is in charge of taking care of Naomi, really. Yeah, so she gained a son, essentially. She gained another son, essentially, from Ruth, right? So she was not left stranded at the end of the day. So yeah, something great can come out of your pain and suffering if only you will walk faithfully with God. If only you will not let life make you unnecessarily bitter. If only you would see something, even if it's something so little, something from everything you've gone through, all your pain, all the tears you've cried. And it's all about your mindset. It's all about how you choose to see things. You could choose to be bitter, or you could choose to make something out of every single situation you find yourself in. So yeah, that is it for unlocking the hearts of men. I hope this topic has blessed you, has given you some form of comfort in any single thing you might be going through or any situation you found yourself in. And I hope God continues to work on you as you walk faithfully with Him. And yeah, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just stay with Him. Just stay with Him. He's truly a God that rewards those who diligently seek Him. He is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please share this video with someone that you feel like it might bless. It might be a blessing too. Like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you guys want to have like a male version and we have like a guy on this pod talking about it, let me know also. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.